Hi, my name is Gil, and I work for Ciadella's. And today we're going to be talking about a headliner, how to install a headliner, how to install a windlace, and what you get on the headliner kit when you order it. So I'm going to start out with the headliner. This is for 56 perforated. And this is what you get, the headliner. You get your sun visor material, and then for your side panels. And they have windlace is extra, and when you get your windlaces, this is how you get your windlace here. So, and your side panels, the cardboard. So what you need when you're going to install a headliner is you're going to need a heat gun, a few tools like a screwdriver, a tuck-in tool, a tack hammer, and your tack tool and a plier. Okay, you might need a tack strip because without a new tack strip inside the car, you're going to have a difficult time installing a headliner. Okay, that's probably most of the tools that you need, and you need a scissors. Grab a scissor here. This is what you need as far as your tool goes. So we're going to grab the windlace and install it. Okay, when you get your windlace, this is how you get it. The flap sewn onto it. Okay, so one that goes on the driver's side, and then one goes on the passenger side. Okay, how to install this thing is you got your windlace channel that goes in here, the bracket. This will slide into the bracket, and you go all the way down to you get about here, and where you stop, and then you start working upwards to the corner here, and you staple the windlace up at the corner, and then you go across and staple to this corner again, and then staple all the way down. And when you install this, you got to have enough sticking out at the bottom, so your seal plate will go, on top of it and cover that. And that's about it as far as the windlace goes. Installing a headliner, you need to check your bows, your headliner bows. Make sure you got the right one for that car. A lot of times you might get your bows from a swap meet, and one of them might be the wrong one. So what you need to do here is that when you go up and install your headliner bows, make sure it's all nice and snug, at every corner. That way, when you install your headliner, everything else will fall into place. And on your sedans, you're going to have a plate right here over your windlace, and that plate is there for a reason. So when you install your headliner, your headliner has to be tucked underneath it. When we get to it, I'll explain more about that again. Installing the tack strip, when you install a headliner, check your tack strip. Make sure that your tack strip, replace them if you need to replace them. Your tack strip goes right out in here above your windows, in the back window, and then the front, your windshield. The tack strip goes up to here. And if you don't replace it, you're going to have a hard time installing your headliner. Okay, when you get your headliner bows out of the car, first thing you need to do is number them. So you got your front one, number 1, 2, and so far to the back. Okay, when you get them out, on your headliner, you got a headliner listing sewn onto it. And what you need to do is you need to slide your bows inside your listing all the way down. Just like that. And make sure that your bows are clean. If they're not clean, it will not slide through your listing. Okay, installing a headliner. Okay, first thing you need to do is you got some tabs sticking out right in the middle of your headliner. So what you need to do is, the first thing you need to do is hook this up right about like that. And when you're putting this up there, the first thing you need to do is check, make sure that your listing is is straight down. You don't want to have a wrinkle up on top there. Okay, this is where your tack hammer comes in. This will hold your headliner in place on your first bow. Okay, when you install your headliner, you got a few holes right here that that your headliner bows will go in. Okay, a lot of times you can either put both on the bottom, or you can put one on the bottom and the other one on top. So it really doesn't matter which how you do this, because you might have to take one back out and take both of them up on top, because you're doing the insulation and you go by the headliner material. Okay, installing your headliner, I'm going to install the last bow on this thing. On your roof, you might have to clean your roof. If you don't clean it, you got this listing up here. When you pull it back and forth, it's not going to slide if you don't clean your roof. So if you clean it, the listing will easily slide back and forth to take the wrinkles out at the end. On the sedan, you're going to have a cardboard sewn onto your headliner here. Okay, and then you're going to have some tabs in the back. That cardboard, fold it back like that, and it's going to tuck it into the tab like that. Okay, all the way across. Once it's hooked, when you get your headliner done, the rubber will go on top like that, all the way across. Okay, what I'm going to do now is that, see where all the pulls on the headliner? What I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up. Heat it up, get it warm, and then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pull on where the stitches are. And then I'm going to put some staples in there to hold it. Because you have to take it out a few times, the tape staples, pull it here and there a few times to get it right. Okay, earlier I was talking about on your roof where your headliner bows goes, you got two holes. Okay, you got top one, the bottom one. When what I did earlier is I used the top one and see how the headliner will come out, stretch out. And it was kind of tight on one end and loose on the other end. So what I had to do was I had to get in there, take the bow out and move it down to the next slot. And that will take the pressure off. The best thing to do, especially at these corners, is that to heat it up, don't get it too hot, just barely, warm enough, and then pull on it, staple it where the stitches are. See how the wrinkle is coming out now? And you just have to be patient. Staple it here again, then you might have to come back and take the staples out, heat it up a little more to take all this out. You do that from the back, at least to the middle. Finish that part, and then I'll show you the front part again. Okay, what I did so far now is I got the back one stretched out and I'm working on towards the front. So what you need to do here at the front is that when you tuck it in where your stitches is, tuck it in, and then don't tuck the whole headliner in there, because you have to kind of loosen it back out to take the wrinkles out. When you do that, up to then, you need to heat it up. Don't get it too hot. Heat it up a little bit, and then tuck more in again. So that's what takes all that wrinkle out. You have to try and take all the wrinkles out and then pull the front part at the same time. You have to work back and forth to get that wrinkle out. If you can see in the middle here, it still has some wrinkles in it. And what I need to do now is that, put the heat gun to it again, get it hot a little bit. Some of that wrinkle will go away by itself. And then you need to pull it down just a little bit, not too much, to take that wrinkle out. Okay, we're doing the driver's side now. We're just heating it up. So what you have to watch out for is that once you tuck everything in, you're still going to end up with this, some wrinkles here and there. But that's where you need to heat it. Heat it a little bit, and then that wrinkle will come out, and it'll shrink or stretch out. Okay, you don't need to trim anything now. Once you tuck all this in, leave some hanging out until you go finish all the way around, and then you need to trim it. But the front part now, you need to kind of pull it out a little bit. What you need to look out for now is that when you're pulling up the front, is that your first bow needs to be straight all the way across when you're looking at it from side to side, because sometimes you can over pull it and you can see that in your bow. Then you need to staple this. Staple the headliner in place all the way across. And this is where it's really important to put a new tack strip in there. Because if you don't have that in there, you got nothing to staple to. Okay, once you get your headliner put up in place, stapled all the way around, what you need to do is trim the edges all the way around, and then put your garnish molding back on. The back one, your garnish mold doesn't go on until your package tray and your quarter panels, and then your garnish molding will go back on. Okay, on your side panel, what you need to do, there's a tack strip, it needs to be sewn on. Sew on your tack strip, put some staples in there, and then bend it back like that. That's how it goes. Your bottom quarter panel will cover this end, and then your garnish molding will go right on top of this, and it stays in place. And the back one, you got a small one that goes in the back. And how the back one goes in is that you got a flap at the end here. It will go like that. And then the rest will be going under your rubber. And then your garnish molding will go right on top of it. And that's how it is for installing a headliner. Well, I'm Gil, and we just installed a headliner on a 1956 two-door sedan. Thanks for joining us.